Hey, Chris the Carpenter here, and I am working on a project that I didn't think I could ever actually do. And Mr. Birdmum from Let's Make Robots turned me on to this guy. Um, this is an ammo loader. It's for empty shells, and it's a way of feeding them into a tube, and so that tube can be later used as a hopper to feed a reloading machine. And so it basically just has some little blocks as agitators, and as this spins, the pile of empty shells is stirred up, and they randomly fall into slots, and then as it rotates, it drops through. So I have devised a very, very similar device here. I actually made two smaller ones that work pretty good. And then I went through and I started making different discs. Like you can see, I started gluing in little pieces to try to dial in the size of the hole. Here are some of the smaller ones I made. You can see the hot glue and the whatever. So I made some kind of prototypes. And then even on this guy, which is even closer, you can see like here I made the key shaped, and then I made the dog bone shape. The dog bone so this way the head can fall through either direction. This guy, the screw can fall through, but the head can get caught there. With the dog bone style, it can fall through either way. And then it just has little, agitators, and there's a chain and a gear motor in the back, and then a little chute. And I will. All right, so here's how it goes. Now, right off the bat, I need a lot more holes because it doesn't catch very many. There's one, there's another, and I got to move the holes closer to the edge, so because that's where the screws are the most linear, because the screws are going to sit this way against the edge down in that corner, like it's right. I think you can see them in there. So if I put the slot closer to the edge, I think I'm going to catch a lot more screws. And then for the one screw out of 500 that gets caught, I'm going to add an encoder so the motor knows it's not turning. So if it gets stuck, it can just back up a 1/4 inch, the screw will drop through, and it can continue. So it should be self-jam clearing, or at least it's in my experience that just needs a little 1/4 inch turn back, the screw drops through, and you can keep going. But this is it. It works great. Like I said, all I got to do is I need twice as many holes, and I got to be closer to the edge to catch more screws. And I think I'm rocking. Okay, and then next step is where did I put it? Well, it's just an optical sensor. I'm just going to put a QRD optical sensor, so as the screws go by, it'll just simply count screws. And then I'm going to run 8 of these. I've got to make 8 of these in a carousel, and all shooting towards the center. And each one is going to have its own Arduino. I'm actually going to use a mini driver board for each one. That'll take care of the motor driver to run the spindle. It'll take care of the encoder to know if it's stuck. And then also it's got the infrared sensor. And so of all 8, I can very easily tell. There's a clog. Oh, no, that's not a clog. That's something caught down here, I think. Well, at any rate, so the point is, each of these stations will have its own independent brain with an infrared receiver, so I should have one transmitter that can be able to talk to all 8 and say, okay, now you put 12 things in, you put 8 things in, you put 4 things in, you don't do anything, you know, whatever. And then it'll drop it all in. So, there you go. Thank you, Mr. Bird, for finding that link for me. This is going to work. I just have to fudge the disk a little bit and then make the counting software and the code, that's a piece of cake. But the general mechanism is awesome. So there you go. All right, next big project. Ding.